excitement in my voice today is that we have agreed in the last couple of weeks, after some protracted negotiations, to sign excuse me, an affiliation with the Dorset Chamber of Commerce and Industry. This is something that I strongly believe will benefit our members here in Dorchester, and also the alliance it's going to help us have with other chambers of a similar size to ours, not only locally, say with Weymouth and Bridport, but also slightly further east, to make sure that we're driving business and that we can have a very large voice for this part of West Dorset. Right. Ian Gurley, thank you.
Steve. Now, I want to talk to you a little bit this morning about Dorset Chamber, about what we're up to, and I want to talk to you about affiliation and what I think affiliation means. I've been with the Chamber for just over 14 months, and when I joined the Chamber I found that I had a Chamber which was gone a bit flat, lacked some innovation, lacked some creativity, was seen as being quite central to the conurbation and not really reaching outside of Dorset. And I've been really working hard over the last 14 months with my team to really pick our Chamber up and do what it should be doing as the County Chamber of Commerce. We've been established since 1949. I know lots of chambers are older than that. At the moment we've got about 750 members. That's 100 up from where we were 6 months ago. And we're really focused on doing the very best job that we can possibly for our members. We're a team of about 16 or 17 people. That's grown quite substantially since I've joined. And I really felt if we're going to do the job that we needed to do, we needed to invest in staff and make sure we've got the resources to do so. And that really means looking after our members in a lot stronger way, which is what we're doing. I also found when I joined the Chamber that really we didn't really have any relationships with town chambers of commerce. And I knew all the town chambers actually used to get together with the D16 network, and DCCI wasn't even part of that. And that's not a criticism of the D16 network, it's really identifies on where we got to in terms of how we were working with town chambers, and I felt there was an awful lot of work to do in there. Now, I also found that people were confused. Well, what's the town chamber, what's the county chamber? Apart from you're much more expensive than the town chamber, we really don't understand what the difference is. So I really set about identifying what I thought is the role of the town chamber and what I think is the role of the county chamber. And this is a really important point. I see the town chambers having a very, very specific job to do in terms of looking after businesses at a local level, making sure that trading conditions are right, making sure the voice of business is being heard at a local level, and you really have some influence in terms of the economic environment in which you're working. The county chamber works at a different level. We're there to look at the kind of macroeconomic scale, if you like, the bigger picture in terms of economics. We're a different kind of animal because we actually have paid staff. That means we've got resources to do different types of things. But fundamentally, I think there's a very strong place for town chambers and the county chambers to coexist and work together. And I think that offers us some really huge opportunity. DCCI members are very keen to see the county grow as a whole. They're very keen to work with colleagues from across the whole of the county, and I have to say the affiliation is being really well received by our members, by our council, and really importantly by the DCCI board. They're very excited about the affiliation. There is a good synergy between the town chamber and the county chamber, and I'll be really honest with you, this isn't about getting members. There's 35,000 businesses across the whole of the county. This isn't about DCCI swooping in to try and take members. That's a really important point to make. The point of the affiliation is about creating a powerful relationship between Dorchester Chamber and Dorset Chamber. You fully retain your own identity and you continue to work that you do, and we do the same thing, but we can come together on certain issues and start to speak as one voice, and that starts to make us more powerful in terms of business people having an influence. I think the point that Steve's raised over the west of the county is exactly right, I have to say. I do feel sometimes there's a wall that's built around the edge of Poole. I live in Poole and work in Poole myself, and I really do think the west of the county is quite often overlooked.
This is a great advantage to our members because we will have the affiliation with the Dorset Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and this is going to give us access to lobby in a much better and more structured way to make sure that West Dorset gets its fair share of available funding and investment as we continue to move forward.
I've worked in the west of the county for a long time, and I certainly recognise the businesses and the strength of the business community that you have down here, so I'll certainly do everything I can to support that. Now, I've been working quite slowly and carefully with the town chambers to really talk affiliation through and make sure people understand what it's about, and trust in that is really important. So I'm really delighted to be standing here today to talk about the fact that our chambers are going to link together through affiliation. You'll also join other chambers now that are doing the same thing. So the first chamber to affiliate was Weymouth and Portland Chamber in October last year, which was a groundbreaking move. They were the first chamber, plus they're on the west of the county. So for me and Weymouth and Portland Chamber, that was a huge success. Broadstone Chamber, up in the conurbation. Broadstone Chamber has 98 members, and Broadstone have affiliated. Obviously, Dorchester Chamber now as well, and Poole Chamber will follow within the next month or so. So the affiliation at the broad level is really about strategic relationship between our two chambers. We will work and we will support you in terms of doing what you need to achieve. It will also provide you with a link through to the British Chambers of Commerce. Now, we're accredited by the British Chambers of Commerce. We're one of 52 chambers across the whole of the UK to carry that accreditation. It's a pretty torturous exercise to get the accreditation. I have to say, I'm just being re-accredited over the last couple of weeks.
I think members will get access to many other opportunities to have their say about how their business is performing, to see also results through from the nationwide chamber affiliation that Dorset Chamber of Commerce and Industry have, in terms of how the business community is seeing the world and seeing business in the UK progressing. And I think there's lots of extra benefits that our members will see, although they are still members of our chamber and will continue to be so.
But that's a really important relationship that ties us in and links us with the government. The government pay a lot of attention to the British Chamber of Commerce. We had our annual conference a couple of weeks ago and the Prime Minister was speaking and other senior politicians. So the BCC is seen as a major force in terms of representing businesses, and actually this affiliation will allow you to link to that network, if you like, through DCCI. I really see a huge opportunity for the chamber network across the whole of the county to start to come together. I think the network of chambers could be far stronger, far more cohesive, and DCCI really has the opportunity, and I would say a responsibility, to actually start to really bring this voice together for the whole of the county. We will invite you to be a part of the government's quarterly economic survey. Now that's a survey that's managed by the British Chamber of Commerce on a quarterly basis, and that's really a great opportunity for businesses to have an input into government on how they see the economy. And that economic survey is regarded quite highly at senior levels within government. The Bank of England use it when setting interest rates and those sorts of things. So automatically we will ask you to be a part of that, and that will be communicated through the executive. I'm very keen to develop a new local business survey, which I want to call Business Pulse, which will probably be every 2 months, every 6 weeks or 2 months, and that will be a very kind of short and sweet business survey, just to capture the key issues on how you're feeling. The quarterly economic survey is quite formal. This will be a snapshot survey, and I'd really like to invite you guys to be a part of that, and we will feed the results of those surveys through to the local enterprise partnership and local authorities and key stakeholders and decision makers. So it's an opportunity there for you to kind of let us know what you're thinking on a fairly formal basis. I would love it if we could do some events together, and one of the first things we'll do is plan to do a joint event with you guys and my members, and we'll pay for that event. So there's an opportunity straight away for you to start engaging with businesses in Dorset Chamber. And you will find there's a lot of different businesses. Is there any Dorset Chamber members in here today? A couple, 4 or 5. So you'll find that the membership of DCCI is quite diverse. It'll offer you a great opportunity to meet some new businesses. Certainly the DCCI newsletter, events that are coming up, key changes on legislation, business information, etc., etc. I'll share that with you through Steve, so there'll be nuggets of information that's coming down through there. And we will also be pleased to help you promote some of your events through our social media and through our news channels as well. We'll ask you to carry a link to us on your website, and we will also carry a link to you on our website as well, so you'll have a profile on our site. We're going to offer you a couple of events, our events at member prices, and we'll send that information through to you, but we're also going to offer you training to access to our full training programme at member rates. So you'll be able to access our training for the same price as a DCCI member. And that could be quite interesting, and the training is something I'm looking to expand. And we're doing this kind of standard type things like LinkedIn training, up to much more higher level type training with the university on building a good board and those sorts of issues. So there's really quite a good range of subjects being covered there, and you'll have access to that. I'm also really keen that the town chambers have a voice on the DCCI Council. We have a board and a council. The role of our council is to really come together and discuss key issues affecting the economy, to engage with stakeholders, to really look at what's happening out there in the world and make sure that we're developing our services in the right way and linking with the right people. I would really like to be able to co-opt representation from the town chamber network to sit on that council, and that gives you a really good strong link through to DCCI. One of the things I will just make really clear as well, what's important, I've just been discussing this on my table, is this isn't about unpicking your offer or unpicking my offer. The integrity of what you do as a chamber must stay the same, and I'm not trying to position DCCI as a way just to access your services, and it's important that the affiliation isn't seen as a cheap way to access DCCI services.
And are you going to affiliate with more people in the area?
My view is that we're working with the chambers on a one-to-one basis. We obviously have to put time and effort into those discussions. I know that town chambers have to be very comfortable with the affiliation. A really good example is how we've worked with Steve and the executive here. And actually my vision really is to continue to build that network of chambers, to really build that voice across the whole of the county. So those are the kind of that's the broad basis on why I'm here today. I think it's a really fantastic day. I'm delighted that Steve and Alison beforehand have engaged us to talk about these issues and really start to build this relationship. And I think this is quite monumental for Dorset. We're really moving forward. It gives us a great opportunity to come together now as a single voice. So one of the first actions now is there's 4 or 5 chambers linked in together in this way. You know, we'll start engaging the local authorities and formally recognising this partnership as we go forward. Thank you very much for having me here today, and you know, we're really looking forward to working with you, and I think the future's looking fantastic. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I would love to see a pan Dorset network of chambers that can come together and speak very strongly.